Love Them Knives channel, LTK here. Thank you for joining us today. Ah, yes. Well, let me explain myself. I got this knife, and I had seen this Kizer knife. This is by Kizer. This is called the Kesmec. S35VN steel. It's a satin grind. Ki4461, I believe. A1. Azo is the designer, and so that kind of rang a bell for me because he designed this one, the Zoo Gang. So I thought anybody who can hang out at the zoo with the gang can probably make a Kesmec. Yeah, I was just joking about the zoo thing. Okay, so it's nice when a knife comes together, and this one comes together. I hadn't really considered getting this. Excuse me. You got standoffs here. Open design. But it's a flamed ano look, and I kind of thought that was pretty cool. And then there was the overall design of the knife, which I thought was interesting. And I just wanted to check it out. So I got this through a friend that got me a pretty good discount on it. And, you know, and keep looking. This is late September of 2017. So look at the different offerings, even on eBay through eCop. ECOP is the seller's name. And they've been offering different Kizer knives at a pretty good discount, as well as Blade HQ. And, you know, check with, Knife Works and, Discount Cutlery and Knife Center, see what they're doing. Because, yeah, some of these are not only some models getting closed out, but others are just discounted now. So check that out. But a satin grind, S35VN, thought it was interesting. I really, a design either speaks to you or it doesn't. And this one was interesting. And at a discounted price, even more interesting. I love a bargain, And this was a good bargain. It feels good in the hand, though. Once you get a knife, you can think it's somewhat unimpressive on paper, and then you get it and you pull it out of the box and you hold it, and then you kind of just check the action and feel how it functions. And overall, you really check the blade grind out and you go, what could I do with this? Well, you could slice. Yeah, you could pierce. That's pretty good blade stock. Pretty thick there. So all of a sudden, and then the flame ano job started speaking to me, and I'm going, yeah, I like it. Now I understand. I mean, there's some designs you wonder why a knife company just even bothers to issue them. But then it takes all kinds to make a world. So you never know what might appeal to somebody. Yeah, you got a lanyard hole on here. See the pocket clip here? 2 screws, not a deep carry. It's a stamped. But you can put it on the other side, so you can go left hand, right hand carry. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an interesting story. I mean, I usually pull Blade HQ stuff up, like 155 bucks. Normally, MSRP, which nobody pays, is $222. But, keep your eye on these. They may come up even less than this in the future. So overall length 8 inches. So it's your typical easy EDC size, 3.5-inch blade. S35VN, clip point, flat grind, satin finish. And right at a 1/2 inch thick on the handle, and 5.33 ounces tip up carry. And this is pause and read, Ergonomic shaped handle. I really find it to be that way too. Really nice. Next page. Another pause and read. Yeah. And the model number. And this is the A1 Kesmec. You know, they make a Vanguard Series 1 G10 scales. In fact, I have one on order, and I'm going to check it out, because sometimes they translate pretty well into like the budget carry things. And sometimes those G10 ones you can get for, I don't know, 50 bucks, 40 something, 50, 60, 70, somewhere in that area, depending on which one on the Vanguard series. And of course, Kizer's going to come out with another affordable line of knives, budget type line of knives. I haven't seen any of those out in the marketplace yet, so I'm watching, but I'm watching, because I think, oh, I'll jump on them. I'll be interested in seeing what they're like. So you got, you got titanium frame lock flipper, of course, and there's your lockup, probably about between 35 and 40%, your hardened steel insert to interface with your S35VN blade. It's centered up really good. No blade play, no lock rock, no problems there. Really open design, easy to function with. Size, Mannix. So if you get your Spyderco Mannix out and you look, you're right there, aren't you? Pretty much the same size. Right at 8 inches overall. And, well, how about the PM2, right? Paramilitary 2. Where are we? And let's line our pivots up. The PM2's got a really long handle. So if we line up the pivots, we're right there. Just, you don't have quite as long as scales here. This is definitely going to be heavier. If this is just a tad over 5 ounces, of course this is like 3.9. So, good action on that knife. Really good action. So what do we got for stock? 0.48, 1/48 of an inch, and I bet it's probably 4 or pretty close. 3.75 there. Let's get back up in here, although we got a swedge there, so it's close to 4mm stock. Then as far as the overall, I think they were saying a 1/2 inch. So it is 0.52, 13.3 millimeters. Yeah, so very comfortable in the hand. Ergonomic speaking, you always got this cut, and you got this on a lot of knives where you got to cut away like this. But you got some contouring in here. For some reason, you don't have a lot of height here on the lock bar side to differentiate, but it is. There's enough. There's just enough to get your thumb there to disengage that, and it's pretty easy to do. Wow. And another thing they were saying about the Kesmec, because I'm looking at that name and I'm, what? But they were saying the fishermen, avid fishermen among the Kizer cutlery designers, were, looking at the coelacanth, which was the living fossil. They found the fish. It actually is not well, they thought it had died out millions of years ago until they found one swimming around off the coast of Africa. So in any case, the Ichthyo and Kesmec are resulting tributes to the world of the deep. So cool. I think it's interesting. That one, if you want the full description and stuff, pause and read. And there you go. But this came off of Knife Center. So sometimes, hey, it's good to look around a little bit. There's the Kesmec in the Vanguard series that I got on order. So we'll check that out, see what that's like. Pretty much the same size knife, but just G10 and VG10 steel. This is being, of course, titanium and S35VN. But it does feel good in the hand. And the pocket clip is not a hot spotter at all. Look at that. Usually I like the pocket clip to kind of, you know, maybe come up and then bend over. This one just kind of slides up, but it's not enough to cause an issue there. No. Reverse grip is comfortable too. At least for my hands it is. And like I said, Azo the designer, I did the Zoo Gang. So, hey, he's doing something right. Correct. How much do you weigh? 5.2? Okay. I mean, it's not, yeah, it's in there. It's heavier than the PM2. It's heavier than the Benchmade grip, but it's not outlandishly heavy. 148 grams. You know, like the grip. This is a little more down that road too. About the same size. So size-wise, yeah, you kind of your perfect EDC as far as I'm concerned. You know, if you like 3 to 3 1/4 inch blades, then this is a little bigger than your normal carry. Otherwise, no, it's right down my road. I mean, I think kind of your standard EDC in my definition is around 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. And then when you start getting 3.75 to 4, they're the bigger knives. But, you know, it just, the action on this is pretty good. I was going to try and assess the detent. Detent's not real strong, but the bearings are so nice and smooth that if you follow through, push button or light switch, wow, it feels really smooth. I mean, there's not a metallic feel to it or anything. It's pretty glassy. I was impressed when I got this one. I don't know what it was about it, but there was something that really impressed me about this. Yeah, these little cutaways and stuff kind of help a little bit, kind of break things up design-wise. Although when you get onto this flamed thing, and you know, David at Kizer, he was telling me he went over to China, you know, to, I don't know, to do what you do when you go back to corporate. And went through the facility again and saw the guy that was doing this. He says they got a guy that just, you know, hand torches these, you know. So, wow, okay. He says he sits there at a table and he's really good. Takes a little bit of practice. A little bit of practice. But this Kesmec is interesting. I mean, they make it in the Vanguard series, so obviously it's not one that they're unenthusiastic about. And, you know, once you get it in your hand, and when I look through Kizer knives, I've looked through Kizer knives a billion times, and this did not just, until a buddy of mine says, hey, I got a couple of models that I can get a pretty good discount on if you're interested. And so that's when I went and kind of checked it out, and I go, oh yeah, flamed? All right, yeah, let's check it out. I mean, why not? And you know what? It's really good. Oh, they come in, you know, this outer box, and then the inner box looks like this. And, you know, you get the zipper pouch, which is really solid. It's a behemoth. I mean, that's just, who makes a zipper that big? Big zipper pull. That, and then, of course, microfiber cloth, paperwork, that kind of thing. So, it's really nice. Good quality stuff. And it's really crush proof. So, they don't fit really well in a small flat rate box. It's like, when you design a knife, look at USPS and make sure your box fits inside a small flat rate box for shipping purposes. I mean, you ought to think of that. Maybe that ought to be on one of Nick Shabazz's knife gripes. You know what I mean? It's like, get your packaging to where it coincides with USPS and their different box sizes. But yeah, good knife. Good knife. And will it be a knife? Can it cut like a knife? Well, Brian Adams, cuts like a knife. Yes, it does. I guess that'll work. So they come usually pretty sharp. I think I've caught one of the Kizer knives that was really pretty dull, actually. I mean, you know, it wasn't as sharp, let's say that. But most of the time, they are pretty sharp. Yeah. Interesting. Good thick blade stock. Nice hefty titanium. Flame anode. Open design. And it looks like it'd be, you know, you don't have any recurves or anything to deal with here. So as far as being able to sharpen this thing, should be pretty easy. Don't really have much here for choil, but, you know, I think it's pretty doable. Lots of material here for piercing, you know, and prying nails out of the roofing. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take care, my friends. Thanks for joining me. You know what we do around here. We give away knives. We sell knives. But most of all, we love them knives. So stay sharp.